In this module, we are going to learn about evidence of student learning. Our essential questions are: how are assessments used in the standards-based classroom? How do teacher and students benefit from the different types of assessment? And how are classroom assessment strategies used to increase student achievement? By the end of this session, we hope that you know about different types of assessments and how these different assessments are used. We want you to understand the continuum of assessing and the purpose of varying assessments. And we hope that you are able to integrate a variety of assessments during an instructional unit. To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. It means to know where you're going so that you better understand where you are now, so that the steps you take are always in the right direction. Traditional practice called for teachers to select a chapter of text, design instructional activities, and create an assessment at the end of the chapter to test for learning and understanding. In a standards-based classroom, once the standards are selected, the effective teacher begins with the end in mind by deciding how the students will be assessed on those standards. Then, the teacher designs learning opportunities and appropriate instruction to ensure that the students have every opportunity to achieve or exceed the standard. It's similar to planning a vacation. Beginning with the end in mind lets me know how to pack. I would pack differently for a beach vacation than a trip to a ski resort. If you know where you're going, you will know exactly how to get there. Where to is one model that the teachers can follow to assure they are beginning with the ends in mind. Think of the word assessment. What first comes to mind? Jot down your first thought. When you hear the word assessment, you might have thought about a test, a quiz, or a final exam. Assessment includes those things and so much more. Some different types of assessment are included here. Let's learn more about each. Screening is a type of assessment that's used to determine students at risk for difficulty or failure. It provides the teacher with a pre-assessment for differentiation, and it identifies those who need additional instruction or intervention. Diagnostic testing is used to identify a variety of reading, language, or cognitive skills. It is designed to give more specific information so that intervention can be applied strategically. It also helps teachers plan instruction. Summative assessment is bottom-line evaluation of effectiveness. It helps determine knowledge, skills, ability, and attitudes that have developed over a given period of time. It summarizes student progress, and it helps teachers assign grades at the end of instruction. Formative assessment is also known as progress monitoring. It focuses on the processes and products of learning. It is continuous and meant to inform or provide feedback to the student, parents and guardians, and the teacher of the student's progress towards meeting the standards. Informal assessing is a way of collecting information about our students' performance in normal classes without establishing a test condition. We assess their performance when speaking, writing, reading, or listening, and we can see which students are performing well and which students are having difficulties. One way of helping us remember the difference between formative and summative assessments is by this quote from Keith Pratt. Now that we know what assessment is, let's talk about why we need to assess in the first place. Assessment is used for placement in classes, courses, or programs. It provides feedback to students and teachers on the learning progress. It identifies students who might have learning gaps. It helps determine specific areas of weakness for a student, and it's used to assign grades at the end of instruction. Assessments are used to provide information, to guide instructional decisions, and to best prepare students for academic success. Think of assessment as a continuum of evidence, beginning with informal checking for understanding and ending with performance tasks. Informal checks for understanding are ongoing assessments. They are used as part of the instructional process, and examples could include observations, teacher questioning, and think-alouds. Observations and dialogues are also types of informal assessments. Informal assessments of any type are typically not scored, but simply used as a form of feedback for the teacher and student. Tests and quizzes are content-focused, and they typically have a single best answer. They are easily scored and assessed for factual information, concepts, and discrete skills. Academic probes are open-ended questions or problems. They require the student to think critically and require the student to prepare a specific academic response, product, or performance. Performance tasks are more complex and are usually cross-curricular. They mirror issues or problems faced in everyday life. They range from short-term tasks to long-term or multi-stage projects and are usually accompanied by a rubric. Here is a quick glance at various classroom management assessment strategies, ranging from selected response all the way to informal assessment.